goals, like why we're actually here. Tim, if you want to start, what is an actual goal that you want to work on right now?
I don't know, like one of these.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. In the short term, like
Yeah, I think there's kind of a refocus on like a physical improvement on myself. I kind of started recently, and I'm like really trying to focus not on, like you said, like right now, like trying to do it all in once. I've realized that first I had to start with like my diet and change my diet, and I had to be more conscious of not just what I'm eating, but like how much I'm eating and stuff like that. Kind of seen some improvements, but it's like getting better at it every week.
So what were you eating before, and like what do you want to like shift?
Crap.
Okay.
Absolute garbage.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it was fast food. I mean, my job isn't tailored around having a healthy diet because I travel a lot.
Got it.
So every day I'm driving hours sometimes, like to work, and then working a long day, and then having hours to drive back.
So maybe do you have like the luxury of maybe like bringing in a packed lunch instead?
I could be better about that.
Okay.
One of the things I started doing was getting like snack bars and bringing like a protein shake, something that will curb my hunger.
There you go.
So that the issue I always had was on my way home, I'd have 2 hours of sitting in traffic,
Got it.
and I would use that time to eat like 2 cheeseburgers or like a couple burritos or something. It was just like I needed that time I was using it to eat versus, but I was also had it was 12 hours from when I left my home until I finished work, and I still had 2 hours to drive home. I was starving. I didn't have anything, so I started to realize if I could do stuff during the day to curb the hunger. So when I was off work, I wasn't like forcing myself to go get something massive to eat. So.
Well, do you guys have any like ideas maybe of like what Tim could do to maybe help him out?
I think like I also started trying to like figure out like what is a better diet for me, because I had a lot of issues, with like also like eating whatever I wanted, gaining weight, things like that, and then the whole like diet terminology has such a negative taboo. But I was like, I want to try something that's still sustainable and healthy and works for me. And like keto diet is something that I like looked a lot into. Like I don't think it works for me, but like the point of the keto diet is like you're eating a lot more healthy fats because it helps you stay fuller and gives you more energy.
Okay.
So that it nourishes you for a long period of time. I know a lot of people will fast like during keto, like they eat for like a 6-hour window, and then they're able to and then the amount of fats they eat helps them sustain it until the next day or whatever. So that might be something you can look into.
Are there any specific foods in the keto diet that are
like I think like
high protein, I think, isn't it?
No, it's actually more fat, like 50% fat, where I think like a normal diet they recommend like 30% fat. So it's more fat. Actually, it might be like 60% fat, like
good
30%.
Fat.
Yeah, 30% protein, and then like 10% carbs. It's like very minimal carbs.
Okay.
And it's supposed to help you stay fuller, but like I think it just like what I learned from all of this is like every body is different.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and like you can't prescribe one diet for everyone. So it's just like
no, I had a friend that did like the intermittent fasting, but he worked out a lot, and that didn't work for him because when he did eat, what ended up happening was because he worked out so much. When he did eat, his body would store it because it was like because they knew he was going to be working out so much that like when he did eat, so he has to eat a lot during the day, or he has to maintain a constant diet.
All right, Tim, let's reel it back a little bit. No, it's fine. That's totally fine. No, it's totally okay. Totally okay. But I mean, maybe try the keto. Do you guys have any ideas maybe that you could suggest, or like you guys?
I think like the snacking idea is probably the best. It's just to like to sustain yourself throughout the day, where you're getting a little peckish, you're getting a little hungry, just a bag of nuts, a trail mix, some granola bar, cereal bar, something. And that's even something that you can leave in your toolbox or whatever, your truck, It stays very well.
Yeah. All right. Well,
staying hydrated.
Right, that's very important.
Yes.
Drink some water. Actually, that's a suggestion. Drink some water.
Is actually a huge help. Yeah. When I do start to feel a little hungry, I just pound like a bottle of water, and it like sets me good for a while.
Got it. Great. No, that's great. All right, Tim. Well, thank you for sharing. let's move on over to Beatrice. What's the goal that you have in mind?
Well, I had physical, but now I can go into personal since we talked physical. I don't know.
Well, it's totally up to you. It's whatever you feel comfortable discussing about.
I guess stop living in fear, not care what people may think based off your decision you make. If you don't make time for your wellness, therefore you will be forced to pay for your illness. That's what I'm trying to live.
So let's break that down, because I feel like it's all, it's a lot. So let's try to maybe focus on the number one thing. Just out of all of those, which one do you feel is, the biggest one that you want to work on
just
right now?
Stop being afraid of making decisions and just go for it.
So did you have maybe, a previous experience where, you made a decision, or, did you feel more of, you feel like other people are kind of, influencing your decisions?
No, I think it's just throughout my entire life, I feel like I'm being influenced. So I think you try to do what's right by society or by what people think you should do, by what's good. But in reality, you should do what feels right inside, and you start to lose yourself if you don't do that. So
right.
That's it.
So
just stop living in fear.
And do you have any examples?
It can
maybe?
be anything from making a decision of picking a career, making a decision with friendships or a problem, or anything. It can be a relationship issue. It can be anything. So everything in life, I feel like I've done it by what I think people expect of me.
Right. So trying to be more independent of your decisions, and also trying to be more assertive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, wanting to be assertive.
I need to voice.
Okay.
Yes. My emotions.
Yeah. So how do you feel what do you think you need to do to make that first leap forward, that first step?
Well, I guess work on confidence and understanding what I want so you don't lose yourself. So I guess just figuring out what drives me to do what I want to do.
Yeah, so maybe focusing on things that you like.
Yeah.
And even if somebody says I don't like this, or I don't agree with this, I'm like, no, this is my decision. This is what I want to do because I want to do that and I like it.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. That's definitely something that we all sometimes have to deal with. I mean, I feel like all of you guys have had experiences before.
Too.
We've all been through that, where we kind of get peer pressured into doing things that what society or what our parents or what our friends tell us to do, and we're not as comfortable doing it, but it's happened to all of us. But that's actually something that's that's a great goal to work on. Really good. Trevor?